I had the courage to take the leap from my corporate job. Yes, I don't just want to quit my job tomorrow. I want to transition maybe over the course of 1, 2, or even 3 years. If you're looking on how you can implement this 1 to 3 year timeline today, you're in luck because we're going to get into it right now. Hey, Courtney Sanders here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to me, I'm a 7-figure certified life and business coach, as well as wife and mom, CEO. I truly wear all the hats and do all the things, but that never would have been possible had I not had the courage to take the leap from my corporate job. Yes, I actually worked in corporate America, actually in the federal government for 4, going on 5 years before I took the leap and went full-time in my business Labor Day 2016, and I have never looked back since. However, I know that a big hurdle for a lot of corporate leaders who are looking to make the same transition is how on earth they're going to replace their corporate income. So if that's you, you're like, you know what, I'm a leader in corporate America. I have a lot of value to give. I really think that I could be earning more on my own. Plus, I just really want to do my passion work. However, I don't just want to quit my job tomorrow. I want to transition maybe over the course of 1, 2, or even 3 years. You're in luck because I'm going to get into exactly how to transition and how to replace your corporate income quickly, and realistic quickly is a 1 to 3 year timeline. And so if you're looking on how you can implement this 1 to 3 year timeline today, you're in luck because we're going to get into it right now. All right, so I was actually able to transition from my corporate job and replace my corporate income in about 18 months once I started following this process. So I worked in corporate America for 4, almost 5 years, but it only took me 18 months to actually exceed my corporate income so that I could be full-time in my business or the company that I run now. And so one of the first things that I did that I definitely recommend that you do as well is I focused on solving a profitable problem. You would be surprised. I see so many people who want to start successful coaching businesses. They want to get out of their jobs quickly. They want to replace their corporate incomes, but they don't think about what is the problem or problem that they're solving or transformation that they are offering that is actually valuable. Because here's the truth. While you can solve any variety of problems, and yes, maybe there's always somebody who's willing to pay you for that, there are some problems that are worth more in the marketplace than others. And so you want to do your research. You also want to dig deep into your own life experience, your own story, what you do at work, what you do outside of work, right? You can build a lucrative, successful coaching business doing something that has nothing to do with your corporate job, or you can do something that has to do with your corporate job. What really makes the final determination is how lucrative that's going to be for you, because people don't realize that you actually need to focus on higher price packages when you are trying to get out. You don't want to get in the trap of selling $150 an hour coaching sessions because it becomes very, very difficult to replace your corporate income. So you want to focus on problems that are going to be very profitable for you to solve, and you want to focus on people who are willing to pay those prices for those problems, right? Say that 3 times fast. There's a lot of P's in there, but if you can really hammer down and focus on that, you'll find that it makes the next steps that much easier when it comes to replacing your corporate income in about 1 to 3 years. All right, so once you focus on finding that profitable problem and you know what it is, the next thing that you want to do is you want to spend some time building a brand. In fact, I would actually recommend spending at least 6 months really doubling down on your brand. This is not to say that you can't make any sales in this time period, but I would actually not focus on it. I would actually think of sales as kind of like, oh, a cherry on top. Like I wasn't expecting to make any sales. I was just focusing on growing my brand, but looky there, I made a sale. And so that does happen, but you really, really want to focus on building your brand, a minimum of 3 months, but I would give it even up to 6 months. And this is actually really helpful for you while you're working your corporate job, because here's the thing, you can build your brand without selling anything overtly, right? So I know that's a big issue for a lot of people. They worry about their boss finding out or their coworkers finding out, you know, how do I do this kind of on the low, right? I'm building this business on the side, but I'm doing it in a very incognito way. Building your brand in the way that I personally teach is actually really going to help you and avoid some of those pitfalls. And if you're wondering how on earth you do this, because it sounds like an oxymoron, how do I build my brand and how does that keep me out of hot water with my job and make it more incognito, I actually invite you to check out my free brand new webinar. It's called My Corporate Leader to Lucrative Coach Masterclass. So I share my strategy, hint, hint, it's called the iceberg strategy. I go over this in detail. It is a 40-minute webinar. Go ahead and click the link below in order to sign up. I walk you through the entire process, even help you think through what some of those profitable problems problems could be if you're stumped on that as well. And again, it's completely free and it's a brand new webinar. So go ahead and click the link below in order to learn more. But trust me, this secret is really a game changer if you can do it well, and it allows you to build your business on the side without allowing other people to know. All right, so once you've identified your profitable problem and you've gone incognito but still built your brand so that you have some level of visibility to the clients that actually want to work with you, the next thing that you'll want to do is you want to sell one-on-one first. And I always really stress this because oftentimes people, rightly so, are like, I don't want to do one-on-one coaching. I just want to go straight to groups. You know, that's going to take too much time. Listen, this is a process, right? You're a smart person. You know that Rome was not built in a day, right? You see this in your corporate job as it stands right now. If you're a leader, you're probably used to doing project plans and, you know, mapping things out over time. A realistic plan is 1 to 3 years, right? For me, it took me 18 months. And so with that, you need to allow some time for you to sell one-on-one, not because you want to quit your job after you've, built a roster of a bunch of one-on-one clients, but one-on-one clients are going to give you a level of insight into what the market wants, what the problems are, what people are willing to pay for, so that you can then scale into turning it into group programs and eventually building packages that you personally don't have to do the one-on-one work for. But that one-on-one work is very, very important initially because you won't have those insights otherwise. So trust me on this. After you've identified that profitable problem and you've built your brand, make sure you're selling one-on-one first. All right, I have more where that came from, but first I want to hear from you. What's your timeline to leave corporate America? Share in the comments below. All right, after you've sold one-on-one, so you've identified that profitable problem, you've built your brand, and you've sold one-on-one, you need to do something that so many people wait to do until after they quit their job. But if they do it right now, it would make quitting their job all the more easier, and that is building a team. Yes, and I say this as someone who I think was a little naive about how much a team was really needed to grow my company. And so had I had to do this over again, I would have really doubled down on this. But to my credit, I did start to at least initially build a team when I was working my full-time job. I actually had 2 contractors working for me, one who did social media and graphic design, the other one who handled all of my customer service requests while I was at work. So the reason I'm putting this after you've started those one-on-ones is because if you are selling one-on-one, at least initially, now you're getting some cash in the door, right? It might not be enough to quit your job, but it is enough to hire a team, even just part-time, even like fractional time. You might hire somebody for just 10 hours. You can work with different contractors overseas, but you want to start building your team because that is going to allow you to do the 5th step, which is package your program to sell, right? So this is where people want to jump to initially. They're like, oh, I don't want to do one-on-one. I want to create a group program. I want to create a course. I want to do all these things. And they don't have the insight or the infrastructure in order to do that successfully, right? So coaching one-on-one is going to give you the insight, but building the team with the revenue that you're generating from your one-on-one clients is then going to give you the infrastructure necessary in order to truly package and scale. Because here's the thing, the more you sell, the more stuff breaks, right? Ask me how I know, right? You have more people coming into your programs, which is great. People tend to think about that from a, revenue and success standpoint. But as more people come in, they have more needs, more customer service requests, and you want to make sure that you have the infrastructure on the back end to support that so that things aren't chaotic and that your customers are being well taken care of. And guess what? You can do that while you're still working your corporate job, especially if you give yourself a 1 to 3 year runway. So imagine looking up 18 months from now and you followed these 5 steps and now you're ready to step into a company that you are the CEO of and that you've built yourself. It's possible, you can do it. I know because I've done it for myself. If this is of interest to you, I highly, highly recommend you check out that masterclass. It's brand new, my Corporate Leader to Lucrative Coach. It walks you through this entire process in depth. It even goes over that iceberg methodology that you can use to build your brand without getting found out at work. And it also goes over my coaching certification and marketing program. So if you're interested to learn more about that, the webinar will also give you all the links to that so you can check it out if you're interested. And if you are, you can apply from there. But the webinar is completely free. Click the link below in order to check it out. All right, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope this gets you excited and ready to go so you can transition out of your corporate job and replace your corporate income in 1 to 3 years or less. So if you love this video, don't forget to subscribe to my podcast. It's the Courtney Sanders Show on both iTunes and Spotify. And if you can't wait for my next podcast episode or my next YouTube video, make sure that you are following me on both LinkedIn and Instagram. I'm active on both platforms. Feel free to send me a LinkedIn request, a connection, I'm kind of new to LinkedIn, so I'm still learning the lingo, but do whatever you do on LinkedIn, or you can go ahead and send me a DM or just follow me on Instagram. And from there, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.